Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
The Tigers have played some tremendous defense on this road trip. They have turned in one dazzling play after another, and they've ridden that defense into an opportunity to win the road trip. Tigers on another beautiful night for baseball will take on the Pittsburgh Pirates as we welcome into PNC Park. We're in Pittsburgh tonight. Final game of the trip, final game of the short two-game series featuring the Tigers and the Pirates. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers baseball. Mario and Peppa alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here for the final game in the short two-game series. Back home to take on the Buccos tomorrow night, Rod, but the Tigers have really done well defensively on this road trip, and because of that, a chance now to have a winning trip.
You know, they really have played well defensively, and they've had some good starting pitching on the trip as well. They won 4 of the first 5 games when they left Comerica Park, but they've dropped the last 3. By and large, the offense really has not contributed in the last 3 contests. If they're going to split here in Pittsburgh and go back home with a winning attitude, they have to come out and play with a little bit more energy than they did last night. And of course, they've got to score a run or 2. They've been shut out 8 times this year. That's very surprising to me.
Well, the Tigers trying to end this road trip with 5-4 as the record come back home to take on the Pirates tomorrow night. Stick around, the final game of the series coming up, but right now we send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Here's John Keating.
Josh Harrison, Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio.
part of Detroit and the community since 1849. And by Chrysler, make the most of your summer with a brand new vehicle at the Chrysler Summer Clearance Event. Spectacular night here in Pittsburgh as the Tigers and Pirates wrap up this 2-game series. 2 more back home against the same Pittsburgh team, but plenty of sunshine, warm weather here tonight in Pittsburgh as we get you ready for baseball this evening. The Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll feature Ian Kinsler, as always, at the top of the lineup. Jim Adduci batting second, followed by Upton in left field. Miguel Cabrera batting cleanup. Pretty good numbers in interleague play. He's got to get his bat going, though. Castellanos and then Matuk in a bottom 3 tonight, featuring McCann, Romine, and Matt Boyd batting ninth and doing the pitching. And they are facing the young right-hander Chad Kuhl.
Kuhl probably coming off his best start of the year. It was 5 days ago against the Cincinnati Reds. 7 scoreless innings for Kuhl. He's got a power arm. His fastball will get all the way up to 97, sometimes 98. He's got a real nice slider. He's got a curveball and a changeup, mostly fastball, slider though. Let's take a look at the Buccos starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. The outfield reads Marte, McCutchen, and Rodriguez. Infield, Freeze, Mercer, Harrison, Osuna, and Cervelli is the starting catcher here tonight.
So the Tigers trying to bounce back after dropping the opener last night. They were 1 hit in the ball game, so that's got to change here this evening as Ian Kinsler gets set to lead things off. Kinsler, Adduci, and Upton on a gorgeous night here in Pittsburgh. Ian batting .245, 10 home runs this year, was held hitless last night. Tigers' only hit belonged to James McCann. Kuhl goes to work, and the first one is high and outside, 1-0.
Kuhl will throw that fastball about 65% of the time, and you can see why. First pitch of the contest, 97 miles an hour.
A little bit outside, did not get the call there, and the count goes to 2-0.
And 191 opponent's batting average on the slider. That's part of the scouting report on Kuhl. We'll get back to it.
That'll get back out of play.
Hasn't allowed a first inning run since May 16th. And he told you the fastball usage about 64%. He loves that slider, especially with 2 strikes. Throws lots of changeups, very few curveballs.
Well, they had Williams last night, Kuhl tonight. Part of a young rotation here, along with Taillon and Garrett Cole, among others. They also have Ivan Nova, but by and large, much of the rotation still very young.
Looks like it's going to be a whole lot of those red dots tonight, partner.
Got a bunch of them already. 3-1 is a strike called, and the count goes full now, 3-2. Kuhl is 24 years old, a native of Newark, Delaware. And Kinsler fouls it off. Anything with a red dot is 95 and above, so that is where Kuhl is sitting early on in this game.
And the one thing about Kuhl, the scouting report on him is he throws 97 in the very first inning, but he can continue that into the 7th and into the 8th inning with that same velocity.
Bouncing ball to short, straight at Mercer, and Kinsler is gone 1 away. That'll bring up Jim Adduci batting in the 2 slot in this ball game. Tigers have been really good on this road trip at scoring first. They've scored a bunch of runs in the first inning, but last time they just could not get anything going against Williams.
Tigers only had 1 runner in scoring position. That was James McCann in the 3rd inning, and that was after he singled and stole his first base of the year.
Strike 1 to Adduci, who pinch hit in the ball game last night.
Tigers have never seen Kuhl before, and none of the guys in the starting lineup have ever had an at-bat against him.
0-2. Not sure how much you can tell on video or how much that really helps you. It does something, I guess, but there's nothing about, or nothing better than standing in the box.
That's a great point.
Facing a guy like this, especially a guy that throws upper 90s and again at 97 miles an hour.
Yeah, you can watch some video and you can get an idea of how hard he throws and what he likes to do.
Adduci backs out of there, but it's almost hit.
But until you're standing 6 feet 6 inches from that starting pitcher, you don't really have an idea of the action on the changeup, the break on the slider, and the curveball, or how quickly the ball comes out of his hand on the fastball. You know he's throwing hard, but sometimes the ball looks like it's coming even faster.
Swing and a miss, man. We've seen a bunch of 97s, and then he drops that in there.
That was wicked.
2 gone. Here is Justin Upton. He is Chevrolet's most dependable player as J-Up comes strolling in. 24-game on-base streak for J-Up in that stretch, 315. It is the longest active streak in Major League Baseball.
And Justin Upton leads the Tigers in just about every, and I mean literally every, offensive category, as you could imagine, even stolen bases.
And while J-Up did not have a hit last night, he did walk to keep that streak going. Down the middle it comes at 98.
And 96, 97, everybody else, since up steps J-Up, and Cool reaches back to get 98 miles an hour.
Swing and a miss.
That slide piece is absolutely wicked, and he's throwing it at 91 miles an hour. It's just not fair, really.
Here's the 0-2. Upton swings and misses at 99 miles an hour. Chad Cool. Easy 1-2-3. Here comes Boyd. The first inning must be nice hanging out in the Allegheny up beyond the right field wall. And Matthew Boyd is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And the Tigers have won all of Boyd's last 5 starts. He hasn't gotten the victory in all those outings, but they've won all those games. He'll get a chance to swing the bat tonight as well. He was a 2-sport star as a freshman at Oregon State.
Starting lineup for the Pirates brought to you by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And Pittsburgh lines them up like this. Starling Marte will lead things off. Good numbers in interleague in his career. Then Harrison and McCutchen. Freeze, Osuna, Rodriguez in the middle. They've got Mercer, Cervelli, and Cool. Rounding it out tonight as the Pirates take their first swings against Matthew Boyd. Starling Marte was 0 for 4 in the opener last night. And that is in there for a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Marte batting .248 with a couple of home runs. Showing bunt, and it'll push it foul down the first base line. Marte was recently activated middle of July off the restricted list. PED for Marte, and he was a pop for that, so he missed 80 games. And a big part of their offense and defense, to be honest. Now they go 2. And that one came in on his hands and hit the bat. So Boyd, by and large, has pitched pretty well since coming back from the minor leagues, taking the spot of Daniel Norris in the rotation. Although he gave up just 3 runs in his last outing, he was staked to a 7-0 lead, but didn't stick around long enough to get the win. And that one misses low.
Yeah, I talked to Boyd about that a couple of days ago. He was out having lunch, and he was talking about his last outing. Said he has to be more consistent than that. When you get a big lead like that, you should at least have an opportunity to pitch 5, but he understood why Brad took him out of the game.
2-2 on Marte. Josh Harrison will follow here in the Pirates first.
Boyd's got a fastball that will top up to probably about 94 miles an hour. He's got a really nice slider. He's got a curveball, and really loves his changeup. Throws that changeup about 20% of the time.
You saw the numbers in that last start against the Orioles. The 4 walks got him in some early trouble despite the 7-0 lead.
Also wasn't really paying attention to a couple of base runners, and they stole third base on them. And I know Brad was a little upset at that as well.
In the air to right field, not deep, but Ducey coming in toward the line to make the catch. 1 gone.
And Tigers defense reads this way tonight. Upton in left field. He's there every night. Montook, he's taken over that center field job. But Ducey in right. Castellanos, Romine, Kinsler, and Miguel Cabrera at first base. And James McCann has caught all but 1 game on the 9-game trip.
Here is Harrison. Ball 1 to the Pirates' second baseman. Brad hoping a Tigers win tonight will give them a little bit of momentum going back home. It would give them a 5-4 road trip. And when the Tigers made that little mini run, they took 2 out of 3 in New York, and they won the first 2 games in Baltimore. I know that Brad felt that, you know, we still have a run left in us, and we may be deep in the standings, but we can at least give it a shot.
Yeah, the trip started out really good, winning 4 of the first 5, but dropping the last 3, 2 of those in Baltimore, and then they dropped that game last night. They were shut out.
So any momentum the ball club had was lost the last couple of nights. 1-2 on Harrison. Make it 2-2 now on the veteran for the Pirates. Harrison, 12 homers this year. His career high is 13. Swing and a miss. He was out in front, and Boyd has a strikeout. 2 gone.
That's a nice pitch by Boyd, and we told you he throws that changeup about 20% of the time. You can see the grip in the glove, and the changeup is designed just to keep the hitter off balance, and that was a off balance swing by Harrison. Nice fading changeup at 80 miles an hour.
That'll bring up McCutchen with 2 outs. He is hit safely in 7 of 8. In the air toward right field, not deep, but Ducey coming in, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Matthew Boyd. Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. Presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Here is Miguel Cabrera to lead things off in the second. Cabrera, Castellanos, Matuk. Facing Chad Kuhl, who was throwing in the upper 90s in the first inning. He struck out 2 Tigers. And Mickey looks at ball 1.
Every fastball that Kuhl has thrown so far has been 95 and above. He's only thrown a couple of breaking balls, and that's an outstanding slider that he features at 89 miles an hour.
Which makes you wonder. I mean, this guy's not throwing 94, 95. He's 97, 98, 99. How long can he keep that pace?
He can go into the 7th inning. There's some numbers on him that tell people that he doesn't lose anything on his fastball, even when he's in the 7th inning. Like Verlander used to be. Verlander could start out at 94, 95, and Verlander would be in the 8th and 9th inning, still reaching triple digits.
He's gone to 3-0 on Cabrera. Mickey's had a rough trip, just 4 for 23. And he'll look at a strike in the outer edge. Cabrera last night was 0 for 3 in the ball game. In the air to center field. That'll send McCutchen back. He's got room, though. 1 gone. Forrest Gray retired now by Kuhl. And that'll bring up Nick Castellanos.
Andrew McCutchen having a lot of fun again playing the game of baseball, playing center field after having that center field position taken from him at the beginning of the year. And Marte was a center fielder until he had to serve a suspension. And now Kutch, and back out in center. Made a great play last night.
Yeah, he robbed Matuk
of a triple.
Castellanos batting .238, and he looks at ball 1. Nick was 0 for 3 last night, and there were a lot of offers, to be sure. Only 1 Tigers hit. Tigers have been shut out 8 times this year, and there's only a couple of teams that have been shut out more, and they're kind of surprising. Boston is one of them.
That would be a surprise.
KC and the Angels, they've each been shut out 9 times. And the Tigers shut out for the 8th time last night. Swing and a miss.
Hard to believe that the Royals would be shut out 9 times, especially the way they play. I mean, because they've got speed, so they can beat you a couple different ways with their legs and with their power.
Agreed. And Boston as well, with firepower they have in their lineup. 2-2. Kuhl was throwing so hard. The changeup he threw Castellanos 2 pitches ago was at 90 miles an hour. Now the 2-2. Did not go. David Rackley down at first base.
And more than likely, Kuhl's going to give you a fastball in this particular count. Guy throwing 97, 98 miles an hour, 3-2 count in the 2nd inning. And he might not mess around with a breaking ball.
And he got him, strike 3. Nick was on his way to first base and called out by Chad Fairchild.
Delayed call there by Fairchild. I don't think Nick knew exactly what Fairchild was going to call. He kind of hesitated after the fastball in the mid-90s on the outside black. And Nick looked like he was trying to walk either down toward the dugout or down toward first.
3rd strikeout for Kuhl already in this game. 2 gone for Mikey Matuk. Strike 1 to Mikey.
I think Tigers got to get ready to hit that heater.
Oh, no kidding, man. 97, 98, 99. Skipped in there.
And that 95-mile-per-hour fastball had a little late life on it. A little tailing action.
He'll miss outside at 97. Pretty good since the start of June for Matuk. 320. 18 RBIs in that stretch. Was the Tigers player of the month in July. On base percentage was over 400 in July. Hard hit ball to the shortstop. Diving play there. Mercer from his feet, or his knees rather, unable to get to his feet, but Matuk has an infield single.
That ball was absolutely scalded. I mean, scalded off the bat of Mikey Matuk, and somehow Mercer able to not only knock it down but make a play. This is a dandy of a play, but he could not get up fast enough or get anything on the throw to get Mikey Matuk. But what a great play.
Ball was almost by Mercer as he caught it.
That was an absolute frozen rope.
I'll tell you what, Mikey just continues to hit the ball hard. I mean, not all of them have been hits.
And that play that McCutchen made last night was on a ball that Mikey Matuk hit.
96 the exit velocity on that pitch, or that hit by Matuk. Here's McCann now. James batting with 2 outs, was 1 for 3 in the ball game last night. James also did something last evening he doesn't do a whole lot of, and that's steal a base. Just his second career steal, and he went in standing up last night.
And James McCann was the only Tiger in scoring position all night last night. And Cool throws that ball over to first base as hard as he throws it home.
He doesn't mess around.
Looks like mommy's a Pirates fan and the kids are Tigers fans.
Go Pirates!
No, go Tigers. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Cool was not pitching on that well early in the season, but he has since turned his year around. In fact, his last start might have been his best. 7 scoreless, giving up 4 hits in his last outing. That's fouled away.
Judging by his stuff, it's not going to be the last time he pitches 7 scoreless innings.
Pirates have to be a little bit excited about at least the possibility of building a really good rotation. I mean, the guy we saw last night, Williams, a totally different pitcher, but very effective.
Garrett Cole.
Jamison Tyone. Here's the 1-2.
Ray Searage is the pitching coach here in Pittsburgh and has done a marvelous job as we get a look at Trevor Williams and his line last night. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit. But Ray Searage, he's a guy that really preaches to the entire staff. Fastballs, well-located fastballs, regardless of the velocity. Trevor Williams threw a lot of fastballs last night. His velo was probably about 93.
McCann given time. Two out infield hit by Matuk. It's been a pretty good road trip for McCann. 8 hits on the trip. Oh, that'll get away right by Cervelli. That'll advance the runner. So Matuk now in scoring position. Wild pitch.
Fourth wild pitch of the year. And for Chad Kuhl.
Chad Kuhl, a native of Delaware, pitched his college ball in Delaware. The Blue Hen, selected in the 9th round back in 2013. Outside, and the count fills now 3-2.
I'm being told that Joe Flacco also attended the University of Delaware.
Really?
A couple of good arms coming out of Delaware. Cool. And
Here's the 3-2. And he missed it outside. Ball 4. The Tigers now have something going on here with 2 outs. First walk of the game. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, we look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. It'll bring Cervelli out to the mound as Romine strolls in.
I noticed that about Cervelli last night. He makes a lot of trips out to the mound to try to calm down the young staff. He's a good veteran leader. There's Ray Search. Ray Sears and I were teammates. One winner down in Hermosillo, Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, in the late 70s.
He must have some good stories about you.
No, I got some good ones on him, though. Oh, Ray.
Well, now here is Romine with 2 on and 2 out. Bouncing ball slowly toward first base, and we gobbled up there by Osuna, and just like that, the threat is over. No runs, a hit, a walk, and 2 men left. Remind you to place a deposit on 2018 Tiger season tickets. You'll get up to 4 free games in 2017 plus priority seat selection for the 2018 season. Go to tigers.com/tickets or call 313-471-2255. Another nice night for baseball here in Pittsburgh. Final game in this short 2-game set here. Same 2 teams for the next 2 nights at Comerica Park. Matt Boyd back to work. And his first pitch is in for a strike on David Freese. Jose Osuna and then Sean Rodriguez to follow here in the Pirates' second.
Ooh, nice breaking ball.
0-2.
He wrapped that right around home plate. We've seen a good breaking ball. We've seen a really good changeup. Looks like Matthew Boyd in the mood of mixing all his pitches in early.
Freese last night was over 3, batting .265. Tigers have been getting about 7.5 runs per start for Boyd since returning from the minor leagues. You see Freese good numbers against lefties, and he swings and misses. Down he goes. 2 strikeouts now for Boyd.
A nice job there by Matthew. Started him off with a 2-seam fastball. Then he threw a breaking ball up there. Was an outstanding pitch. And then he climbed the ladder with a good fastball upstairs at 93 to get the swing and miss.
Here is Jose Osuna. He is playing first tonight.
Josh Bell gets the night off.
Yeah, Josh Bell plays every single day, literally. He has started 111 games this year, but not starting tonight.
A little bit of power so far for Osuna. 5 home runs. He skies this one in the air to shallow left center field. The shortstop Romine to the grass. And it finally falls into his glove. 2 gone. I'll bring up Sean Rodriguez, who had some heroics on Sunday.
They acquired him on Saturday. He had 72 hours to report, but he rushed to Bucco land and homered on Sunday, the first day he got here.
And let's check in with Johnny Kane, who had a chance to talk with Sean Rodriguez.
Yeah, Sean Rodriguez, man, what a story he has to tell. I know you hit on it during last night's game, Mario, about the serious car accident he was in January involving his wife and his 2 kids. Well, Sean and his wife both seriously injured in that. And of course, he missed the first half of the season while he was with the Atlanta Braves. But now that he's back here in Pittsburgh, he said, you know what? Pittsburgh always felt like home to me. He said, even when I was in Atlanta, I still felt like I was always a Pirate. He said, here, the expression is family forever. And I know that he's certainly endeared here in Pittsburgh. And what a night back in his first game back in the black and gold, being able to get that walk-off win over San Diego.
Yeah, Johnny had a big year last year with 18 home runs. Fans loved him here, and so I'm sure the reception that he got after that home run had to be special for him. But it was quite a comeback for him, Rod, after that major accident earlier.
Yeah, he didn't start in the game a couple of days ago, but he entered the game in a double switch in the 7th inning at the second base position, and 37,000 fans gave him a standing ovation.
Meanwhile, Matt Boyd with 3 strikeouts in a pair of 1, 2, 3 innings. And Matt Boyd in Arizona picked up his first major league hit. And he had to earn it. Hustling down the line, an infield single in Arizona against the Diamondbacks, much to the delight of the bench. And he'll lead things off here. We check in with Johnny Kane, who had a chance to talk to Matthew Boyd.
Yeah, oh Boyd, I know he's more focused on getting deep into this game, more so than what he does at the plate. But he said, whatever the situation dictates, whenever I get in there, I'm going to be locked in. If I need to lay down a bunt, I'll do that. If I can get on base and allow Ian Kinsler to come up next and knock me in, I'll be just fine with that.
Well, Boyd so far has done really well on the hill. 6 up, 6 down. And he'll take an 0-2 outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Matthew Boyd, when he was a freshman at Oregon State, not only pitched, but he also was able to hit. But then after his freshman year, he really concentrated on pitching. So the bat not all that foreign to Matthew.
2-2 now on Boyd. Kinsler to follow, and then a Ducey in the Tiger third. No score. Tigers got a couple of base runners in the second, single and a walk, but could not drive one in. Little chopper slowly to the right side. Harrison will charge. Shovels to first, and almost another infield hit for Boyd. One gone. We'll bring up Ian Kinsler now, and it brings us to the Bernstein advantage. And for Ian Kinsler, done some pretty good work. When you look at his body of work against the National League Central, over 300 with 17 home runs. Ian is 0 for 1. He grounded to the shortstop to start the game. Had him spinning away from a breaking ball. 1-0. In on his hands and popped up to the shortstop. Mercer hauls it in. 2 gone. We'll bring up a Ducey. Jim Ducey struck out in the first inning. Came on as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning last night and was struck out by Nicasio. It is pup night here at the ballpark. The fans have a chance to adopt a furry friend. That's rolled foul, third base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. And there's another. Did you hear about another bark in the park?
I
coming
did.
Up at Comerica?
I did hear that. The first one was so popular that they're going to do another one.
Some of the best shots you get at dogs at ballparks are those in which the dogs are sitting there patiently watching their owners eat, whether it's nachos or ice cream or whatever. There's a strike home. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jim Ducey. 2 outs here in the 3rd. That pup just chilling.
Getting a lot of love.
Full count now, 3-2. Now, does that qualify as a dog?
I guess.
Kind of small.
It's a pup.
Line to left field. On the move is Marte, still coming to the line to make the catch. Tigers go 1-2-3 here in the 3rd.
really good start here tonight. He's had an outstanding changeup, real good arm speed, looks like a fastball coming out of his hand, and he's been able to fool quite a few hitters already on that pitch. And when not throwing that changeup, the fastball's had a little giddy up on it. Lots of weak contact already against Matthew Boyd. He's already gotten a couple of swings and misses as well on the fastball up top with a lot of movement.
He's retired all 6 he has faced, including 3 of them via the strikeout. Jordy Mercer leads it off. 7-8-9 coming up for the Pirates, and Mercer looks at a strike 0-1. Rodriguez played shortstop last night. Mercer back in there tonight at 257.
And Mercer has been struggling since the All-Star break, batting at 221. Not doing a whole lot with the bat, but he's a good defender. Very steady with the glove.
Matt Boyd okay. Kind of walked back behind the mound, took a deep breath. 0-1 the count. That'll get back out of play. The count 0-2 now on Mercer. A little bit of power. He will go deep every now and then. 10 home runs on the year for Jordy. In his 6th year now with the Pirates. We were talking about Boyd being a two-way player at Oregon State. Mercer was a two-way player at Oklahoma State. He was a closer on one of those Cowboy teams. Missed outside.
And Mercer, one of those guys that chokes up on the bat ever so slightly and gives him a little bit more bat control. I'm starting to see more and more guys and choke up on the bat these days.
Line drive over the head of the third baseman Castellanos. It'll go to the corner. Mercer is on his way to second. He will pull in with a leadoff double.
And pretty good bat control there by Jordy Mercer, his 19th double of the season. And pitch was up, and it was on the inner third of home plate. He just turned on it. And stand-up double.
First base runner of the ball game. That'll bring up Cervelli. Cervelli had a key at bat in the ball game last night. Drove in a run, which for the longest time was the only run of the game with an RBI double. 31 driven in now for Cervelli. Now Boyd with the 0-1. Cervelli comes to the plate to the tune of That's Amore, which I just always get a chuckle out of that. Now, Francisco was born in Venezuela, but his father is of Italian descent. His mother is Venezuelan. So that's where the That's Amore came in. His father is Italian. Swing and a miss.
Here's a situation where if you're not playing National League rules, if a runner's on second and base and nobody out, the hitter's trying to get the runner over to third base. But when you bat 8th in the lineup and you have the pitcher behind you, you're taught to drive the run in, and that's why Cervelli's swinging as aggressive as he is. Not trying to get the runner in the scoring position for the pitcher. He's trying to drive him in.
And Cool, the on-deck hitter, the pitcher, is only 1 for 31 this year. Fouled away. Cervelli has had to back up some pretty good catchers in his days with the Yankees. Jorge Posada and then Russell Martin as well later in his career. They're now getting the bulk of the catching here with the Pirates.
So he waited patiently before he was given a starting job in the big leagues.
He sure did. A couple talented guys ahead of him wherever he has been. Of course, Posada was there for 17 years as a Yankee. Ball low, didn't miss by much. 2-2 now on Cervelli.
Cervelli got a big hit last night. It was a double in the second inning against Jordan Zimmerman. Drove in the first run of the game. The Pirates wouldn't score again until the 8th inning of the game. So Jordan Zimmerman was really good last night.
Here's the 2-2. And he got him strike three. Cervelli is caught looking at a dandy of a breaking ball there by Boyd. One gone.
And Boyd has an outstanding curveball today, and his changeup has been very effective.
Hey, calling all Wolverines. Fox Sports Detroit University days are back August 18th. Get your tickets at tigers.com/UM. The package includes a limited edition hat. Don't miss University of Michigan Day with the Tigers. How's that for enthusiasm?
Oh, you got after it today. You got after it. I noticed it. I noticed
you called me out last night.
Yeah, you got after it today.
Cool showing bunts, and he'll foul the first one off 0-1. As we mentioned, just 1 for 31 as a hitter this year. That would be an 0.32 average. Keep cool and bark on. That is bunted to first base. Not going to advance the runner, though. Miggy was ready to throw to third. So Kula is out. Runner holds at second. 2 away now for Starling Marte. 3-4 on that putout. Boyd has been 7 of 9 in first pitch strikes.
It's been good for him too, because what it's allowed him to do is after he's gotten ahead, he's been able to expand the strike zone with a good breaking ball, good changeup, changes some eye levels with the fastball up top too. So far pretty good for Matthew.
One on Marte.
That's something else that he's done quite a bit of. He has started quite a few of these Pirates hitters off with an off-speed pitch and trying to keep them off balance. And so far he's been able to do that.
Fly ball to right field in Marte's first at bat. In the air to right field, sinking. A Ducey coming on. Can't get it. It'll drop in. On to score is Mercer. A bloop single for Marte, and the Pirates lead 1-0.
Even though Ducey was playing rather shallow in right field, not able to get there and make a play.
It'll be the 12th RBI of the year for Marte. 1-0 Pirates. They've gotten their first 2 hits in this game. Here's Josh Harrison.
And Matthew Boyd needs to make sure he keeps an eye on Marte at first. Marte has the ability to steal a bag if you forget about him.
That ball skied in the air to shallow right. Kinsler back, a Ducey in, and it's going to be a Ducey to retire the side, but the Pirates lead 1-0.
game. Wanted to do a little comparison between the two outfielders here, Justin Upton and also McCutchen. Both guys drafted in the first round in 2005, and both guys were rated at the time as having the best high school bats, and both guys have gone on to have outstanding careers, and they've got similar setups. And where they make contact, their swings look identical. A couple of guys that have had outstanding big league careers, both guys 30 years old, and you can see how their numbers kind of compare. And more home runs for Upton, of course. McCutchen has stolen more bases and scored more runs, but both guys have had really nice careers.
And it'll be Upton here in the fourth inning versus Chad Kuhl. And J-Up looks at a strike down the middle, 0-1.
And both guys as well were rated 1 and 2 as when they came out of high school, the fastest two that would get to the big leagues. Didn't take Upton long to get to the big leagues at all. He was only 19. And McCutchen wasn't far behind.
And once they got there, it didn't take them long to establish themselves either. Meanwhile, Kuhl has had Upton's number so far, 0-2.
And both guys having a wonderful year. 20 plus home runs for both. 21 for J-Up, 22 for McCutchen. Both guys right around 350 with runners in scoring position.
That draft produced a lot of good talent that year, and these two guys just at the top of that list as some of the better players out of that draft.
Yeah, J-Up, he was the first overall player chosen that year. With that comes pressure alone, but he really hasn't felt much of it.
Fouled away. 97 again for Kuhl.
And we were in Baltimore. We were talking about that young kid, Tim Beckham, who was the player of the week last week. And for the Baltimore Orioles, he was drafted #1 overall in 2008. And it's basically taken him a decade to really find his way. High school kid, too.
And Upton is called out on strikes. The second time he's fanned in this ball game tonight. Here's that draft in 2005 with the positions they were drafted. And notice Justin Upton drafted as a shortstop.
Yeah, Alex Gordon on that list, Ryan Zimmerman, Ryan Braun, Tulowitzki, Mike Pelfrey, Maben, McCutchen, and Jay Bruce.
All All-Stars.
8 of those guys have made All-Star teams. And if you notice something else differently about those guys, very few of them are still playing the same position they were drafted as.
Upton, shortstop. Alex Gordon, a third baseman. He's an outfielder now.
Ryan Zimmerman now playing first base. Jay Bruce was a center fielder. He's now playing a corner infield spot. I think Ryan Braun was an infielder, now playing outfield.
You saw Cameron Maben on that list as well. He, of course, was traded for Miguel Cabrera, or part of the deal at least. Miggy beefing on that last call by Fairchild.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, they have pitched Miguel historically aggressively inside, and they realize that's the best way for them to have success against Miggy.
One and two. Fly ball to center field in his first at bat. Fouled away. So Cabrera now on the road trip is only 4 for 24. Swing and a miss. He tried to hold up and went around, and Kuhl has another strikeout, his 5th already.
Kuhl has some wipeout stuff. I mean, you have a fastball that registers 98, 99 miles an hour. Then you back that up with that nasty breaking ball he's featured. Tigers haven't had good swings. They didn't get many good swings last night against their starter, Trevor Williams.
Over his last 12 starts now, which is a pretty good stretch, a 3.23 ERA for Kuhl. Castellanos looks at a strike.
He's starting to get on a roll right now.
One, two, three first, 1, 2, 3 third. That's lofted in the air to shallow right. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3 fourth. Down go the Tigers in order. As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Pittsburgh, and Rars brings you the big money encounter. Andrew McCutchen this season, really a tale of 2 seasons for McCutchen. His first 46 games, and then over his last 63, Rod, he's been on fire.
He really has, and we were talking about this last night. Their manager, Clint Hurdle, sat him down for a couple of days in May, and then he put him in the number 6 spot. And when he put him in the number 6 spot, McCutchen just kind of took off, and he hit nearly 400 for about 6 weeks straight to get that batting average up to where it's at right now. Clint Hurdle also told me something yesterday, Mario. He said when he moved McCutchen down to that number 6 spot, he told Andrew.
Drilled toward right center field. That ball is tagged. Ducey going back, and that ball is going to go. It's a line drive home run to right center field for Andrew McCutchen.
That's what McCutchen has been doing a lot of lately. Driving the ball the other way with a lot of authority. When he was struggling at the beginning of the season, Clint Hurdle told me he was too rotational with his upper body and he was pulling off everything. So he got back to square one, started using his legs a little bit more, and he's looking like the Andrew McCutchen of a few years ago.
23rd home run of the year for McCutchen. That ball got out in a hurry, and that'll bring up David Freese. Pirates got a run in the 3rd, now 1 more here in the 4th.
That was a 93-mile-per-hour fastball that was tailing away from Andrew, and he drove that ball over the 375 sign. But just to finish that story on Clint Hurdle, after he moved Andrew to the number 6 spot, he told Andrew, when you're ready to go back to the number 3 spot, you come to me and I'll put you back in the number 3 spot. And that's exactly what Andrew did, and he's been batting 3rd ever since.
That ball line to right field. It's going to drop base hit.
Might be time for Matthew Boyd to make a little bit of an adjustment. Through the first 3 frames, he threw lots of changeups. He threw lots of fastballs away. Now he must start to go inside to keep them off these balls that are up and away from him.
You know, getting back to McCutchen, when you're dropped all the way to 6th in the lineup and you've accomplished all you have in the major leagues, I mean, there are some guys who would not take kindly to being dropped that far.
No, not at all. But he realized he was struggling at the time. I mean, he was at the lowest point of his career. He was hitting only 200 at the time.
Well, he's back. Here's Osuna. In there, strike 1. 393 on the home run for McCutchen. Hit speed at 99 miles an hour.
Go inside. I like it.
In on his hands, and he popped it up. It's going to be Kinsler to the grass, and Osuna retired, 1 gone.
That's why you have to go inside on occasion, because you can tie up hitters. I mean, everybody's looking away, and James McCann sets up inside, and the pitch is executed beautifully by Matthew Boyd, and he ties him up.
From what I recall in his last start against the Orioles, he was not bashful about going inside, wasn't he?
He did go in there quite a bit. That is a great mention by you, because the Orioles have all those right-handers. I mean, they start with Jones, and then they got Machado, and then they got Scope, and they got a lot of right-handed bats, and he did pitch inside more aggressively to that group.
There is Sean Rodriguez. But as you say, if you're going to go in there, you better not miss them.
Yeah, go in there.
2-0 on the home run by McCutchen. Rodriguez struck out in his first at bat. 1 on, 1 out, a run in.
Good
swing and a miss.
Got a great off-speed pitch today.
Boyd started the game by retiring the first 6 Pirates he faced. Then Mercer doubled in the 3rd, came around in the 2-out single by Marte. Now the McCutchen homer here in the 4th. Foul back.
There's another example of McCann wanting the fastball in, but Matthew not quite able to execute it. He left that ball over the heart of the plate, and Rodriguez had a good swing at it, but Matthew got away with that fastball.
One and two. Tigers this year in interleague play are 4-7, and there was a time in recently, as a matter of fact, in Tigers history where they really controlled the National League. They've always had good numbers in interleague play. This year, though, it's been reversed, 4-7. Line to left field, base hit. Solid single for Sean Rodriguez. 2 on now with 1 out.
Well, second time through the lineup here now. They figured out some things that Matthew Boyd is doing. So now it's up to James McCann and Matthew Boyd along with Rich Doobie to make sure that they can make the necessary adjustments to get back to having the same kind of success they had through the first 3 frames.
Mack out to the mound to chat with Boyd.
And Matthew Boyd yields a .353 batting average second time through, and that's exactly where they're sitting right now.
Ground ball away from getting out of the inning, though, as Jordy Mercer stands in, doubled, scored a run in the 3rd. Ball 1. Mercer this year batting .307 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, he does his best work when runners are aboard, not so much when the bases are empty.
High strike. 1-1. Mercer last year a career high 59 RBIs. He has knocked in 44 this year. Boyd's 1-1. Pulled foul, third base side. 1-2 the count now on Jordy Mercer with Cervelli waiting on deck as Boyd operates against the bottom of the Pirates lineup. It's been a really nice 2 days here in Pittsburgh.
No humidity whatsoever. Absolutely gorgeous night here in downtown Pittsburgh. This city really coming too, man. It's like District of Detroit. I mean, this city's really coming back too.
A lot to do downtown here. Swing and a miss. He got him to chase up top.
I walked back to the walked back to the hotel last night. People everywhere. Everybody wanted to know, where's Mario?
They were not.
Where's Mario?
Yeah, sure they were. I was walking home last night, and boy, when you walk over the bridge here, I mean, it's one of the nicest walks in the league back to the hotel.
It is beautiful. A lot of Tiger fans.
2 gone now. Here's Cervelli. 2-0. Pirates have the lead. Cervelli struck out in the 3rd. Ball 1. Two runs on 5 hits for the Pirates tonight. No runs on 1 hit for the Tigers, and they were 1 hit last night for the game.
You've got to be careful here if you're Boyd. You do have the 2 outs. You do have a base open, even though it's third base, and you have the pitcher in the on-deck circle. You have to be very careful here to Cervelli.
There was a point of topic last night when Zimmerman decided to go after Cervelli instead of going after the pitcher. That was earlier in the game. I think as you get later, you think more about going after the pitcher, don't you? Later in the game?
Absolutely. In that particular situation, it was a runner on first base, and it was a 3-2 pitch to Cervelli that he hit out into the gap for a double, and he drove in a run.
Rolled foul.
There are some managers in the National League that any situation that the number 8 hitter can drive in
a run, and they got a base to put in, they will walk. That's why Jordy Mercer, who bats 8th a lot, has 10 intentional walks already this year. He probably got more intentional walks than Mickey, anybody on the Tigers team.
Mickey's got 5.
Yeah. I mean, that's National League Baseball.
Grounded foul again. Of course, the flip side of that is if you go after the number 8 hitter, your main mission there is to have the pitcher lead off the next inning. And that's why a lot of times the pitcher will go after that number 8 hitter.
Yeah, you always go after the number 8 hitter if there's nobody in scoring position. But if you do have a runner in scoring position, you just think about the situation. If you're Boyd, you cannot give up any more runs here today the way that Chad Cole is pitching right now. Because it doesn't look like Cool's going to give up much.
2-2 is high. Thought about it, didn't chase. Now 3-2.
Hey, Matthews been successful with the fastball up top quite a bit this evening, and that time Cervelli, and not biting.
Pirates will start the runners here. Freeze at second, Rodriguez at first with 2 outs. And he walked it, ball 4. That's going to load the bases now for the pitcher. First walk of the ball game for Boyd. Cool is 1 for 32 this year with the stick. 61 now for Boyd in the pitch count total. Tried to bunt the runner up his last time and bunted too sharply to Cabrera. Oh man. That even got the crowd riled up.
When you're looking for a fastball, you get a breaking ball. That's the kind of swing you got to take. His teammates are even laughing at him. What's that, a curveball?
It's a curveball.
He's going to throw Boyd one of those nasty breaking balls now. Those pitchers, all they do is laugh at each other.
Line drive to left field. That's going to drop in. Out of the reach of Romine, and 2 runs will score. How about that? Cool has the last laugh, and it's 4-0 Pittsburgh. Only his 2nd hit this season.
Everything going right the last couple of nights for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He threw him another breaking ball up there, and give Cool some credit. I mean, he went down, pulled his hands in nicely, and was able to hit that ball right over Andrew Romine's head.
So after looking foolish on that first curveball, Cool drives in his first 2 runs of the year.
First 2 of his career.
Now here is Marte as Rich Dewey goes out to have a chat with Boyd. Marte singled in a run back in the 3rd.
That base hit right there hurts. He clearly pitched Cervelli, the number 8 hitter, very tough, eventually walking him, which is not an issue, but you got to give Cool some credit. He had a good breaking ball. It was not a horrible pitch by Matthew Boyd. Just not a good result.
And Marte looks at a ball high, 1-0.
Marte has a real simple setup when he's in the batter's box. He doesn't take a big stride, if any. Yeah, but yet he generates quite a bit of power.
Fouled away. This is the 8th man at bat in the inning. He started with a home run by McCutchen, and now a 2-run single by Chad Cool. 3-run Pirates 4th. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there from Boyd. He tied him up in the count 1-2 on Marte. Marte, an all-star last year, batted .311.
And Marte, good two-way player. He's won a couple of Gold Gloves too.
And he will steal you some bags. He has gone 30 or more 4 straight years. Two on and 2 out. 3 runs in. In the air to center field. Ball hit well. Matuk going back to the wall to make the catch. Marte is out, but a big inning for the Pirates. They scored 3.
And it is brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, we heard some great things about Chad Kuhl before he took the ball here tonight, and he has not disappointed. His fastball's gotten all the way up to 99 miles an hour. The Tigers have not been able to do much against him. And when not throwing that fastball, this breaking ball has been absolutely wicked. Slider fashion, not many curveballs, not many changeups, just that power fastball and that slider. And he has contributed with a big base hit in this game last half inning.
2-run signal off Boyd that made it a 4-0 game. And that's where we are right now as we go to the top of the 5th inning. The first RBIs for Kuhl, who came into the game just 1 for 31. And he'll go back to work now here in the 5th inning, facing Matuk, McCann, and Romine.
And if you weren't with us earlier, we told you that Kuhl is coming off arguably one of his better starts of his career. 5 days ago against the Cincinnati Reds. 7 scoreless frames against the Redlegs.
Tips on the pitcher. Here is Matuk. Infield single on a sharply hit ball, the only Tigers hit so far. See if Mikey gets it going now in the 5th inning. Kuhl goes to work and delivers a strike at 96. That fastball is really from the get-go been upper 90s, mid to upper 90s.
He's thrown 64 pitches. I bet you 50 of them already have been 95 and above.
It's another hard hit ball for Matuk, a solid single to center, and he is 2 for 2.
Mikey Matuk is the only one that's been able to barrel up Kuhl tonight.
That'll bring up James McCann.
That's a hanging breaking ball there at 88 miles an hour. He hasn't hung many today, and when a pitcher does hang one, you got to make it pay, and that's what Mikey Matuk did.
McCann with a walk in this game. James down 249, 10 homers this year. Earlier on this road trip, and his 14-game hitting streak come to an end. Longest streak of his career. And going forward now, I think James realized he's going to be out there pretty much every night.
And that's a welcome sight for any player at this level. And to know, regardless of what you do the night before, if you go 0 for 4, 0 for 5, and more than likely you're going to be in the lineup the next day.
In the air to right field, on the move is Rodriguez, still coming and foul ground, can't get it.
And that was not always the case with McCann this year, especially the way that Alex was playing when Alex was here before being traded to Chicago.
John Hicks backing up now, but McCann, who started slowly this year and has since come on in the nick of time too with the trade of Avila. 1-1 on McCann. Ground ball to short, should be 2. There's a 6, a 4, and a 3. Double play. 2 gone now. We bring in Johnny Kane.
Well, unfortunately, not much to cheer about out here, even though it is Central Michigan night here at PNC Park. How about that? About 25-30 alumni came in from Metro Detroit or live here in Pittsburgh, and relatively quiet out here right now. They're trying to fire up chips. They're trying to fire up this offense as well. They did give me a lapel sticker to put on, although I am not a CMU alum. I did go to a fellow MAC school, so for all the MAC love out there, I'll put it on for a half inning.
Johnny, you look like your eyes were shifting there, making sure no one saw you put that on.
That's between you, me, and the Fox Sports Detroit audience.
All right, here's this pin. I'm going to put it on my lapel right now.
Well, I don't want to, you know, the president of the Alumni Association invited me over here. I don't want to, you know, come across as being ungrateful.
Well, that's a great group. Good to have the chips in the stand.
Johnny, our producer tonight, Jason Disick, would be awfully proud of you putting on the
I'm sure.
The Chippewa logo there.
I'm sure he would.
He's an alum.
He's a proud alum, and I'm sure he's putting some money into the coffers there too.
Well, let's not go that far.
No, he's pretty cheap. Just kidding, Dizzy.
He likes to use the term frugal.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Romine, did he go? Did not. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Always great to see the alumni associations on the road come out and support the Tigers.
Absolutely. It's a good chance to catch up with people that you went to school with and hang out again.
Swing and a miss, and just like that, the inning is over.
This boy right here is nasty.
Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. fifth inning here at PNC Park, and we remind you to spend an unforgettable weekend at Comerica playing baseball with former Tigers. The 2017 Field of Dreams Fantasy Camp takes place August 25th through the 27th. If you'd like more information, here's the phone number 313-471-2550, or simply go to tigers.com for more info. Well, here is Harrison now as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Matthew Boyd allowing 1 in the third and 3 in the fourth.
Harrison's come up 3 times tonight. He's had 3 different walk-up songs. He must wait till he gets a hit. It changes his song. You don't get a hit.
I didn't even notice that.
I did.
Strike 1 on Harrison. Well, he's 0 for 2, so the rotation continues. Strike out, a fly ball. There's a line drive to left. There's his base hit.
He'll come up to that Frankie Beverly again next time he comes up.
Leadoff man on for the Pirates here in the fifth inning, and that'll bring up McCutchen.
You got to watch Harrison. He's got some speed, even though there's a left-hander on the mound. This Pittsburgh team, at least in last night's game, they were very aggressive running the bases.
Well, McCutchen with a home run to lead off the fourth. It was his 23rd of the year.
You know what else? You know what else Hurdle did to McCutchen earlier in the year that kind of set him off that he really didn't appreciate? It was a game late and the score was tied, and McCutchen made the last out of an inning, and he took him out of the double switch.
Ooh.
And you just don't do that to your stars.
No.
And McCutchen took it personal. He talked about it that day, and he didn't do well after that, but shortly after that he kind of looked himself in the mirror and he just started playing better. And Clint Hurdle also shared a story with me yesterday. Clint was the hitting coach in Texas back in 2010 when Josh Hamilton won the MVP, and he told McCutchen that Josh Hamilton got off to a miserable start that year, so there's always hope.
He's got himself a bloop single to right field. That's going to send Harrison to third. And now McCutchen with his second hit. First and third, nobody out.
And so Hurdle said that the combination of him sharing that story about Hamilton, him still winning the MVP, moving him down to the 6th spot, and also giving him some time off, allowed him to just kind of gather his thoughts, and he just got back to playing some really good baseball. He's playing like the McCutchen that we watched play a few years ago.
Yeah, he did more than gather his thoughts, because he went on to win the Player of the Month award in the month of June, where he batted .411 that month.
He had about a 6-week stretch where his batting average was over 400.
All right, more trouble here for the Tigers in the fifth inning as Freeze will step in. Now the entire infield will join in, and the Tigers now have Edward Mujica warming up. Here comes Brad now.
I don't know if they're talking about a potential double steal here or what. I can't imagine them talking about anything else other than how they want to defend a double steal with all the infielders on the mound there.
It didn't look like Brad was going to come out until all the infielders gathered on the hill. They talked for a while, and it seemed like Brad came out and said, all right, what's going on here? Let's figure this out.
This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And so basically he's telling the infielders where to play, and he also told McCann what to do with the baseball if McCutchen on first base tries to steal a base, whether he'll throw the ball to second, whether he'll hold it, or whether he'll throw that ball down to third base and try to pick off Harrison if he gets off that bag too far.
Infield is in.
Yeah, the infield has to be in, partner. The way the Cool is pitching right now,
no doubt.
Tigers cannot give up any more runs here today.
Singles by Harrison and McCutchen here in the fifth inning. Pirates now have 8 hits in this game, only 2 for the Tigers. Fouled away 0-1 on David Freeze. Single and a strikeout in this game. Freeze takes low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers have the infield in here in the 5th, already down by 4 runs. Freeze has been playing his best baseball since the break, over 320 since the All-Star break. That'll get away from McCann. That'll move the runner to second as Harrison holds at third. McCutchen moves up. Second and third now with nobody out, on the wild pitch. Meanwhile, 2-1 on Freeze. Osuna waiting on deck.
They were chasing that fastball upstairs earlier in the game, but they have not chased it the last couple of innings against Matthew. And dangerous count here, predictable fastball count. If you throw Freeze one, he's going to get a good swing at it. Do him a changeup instead. Now you can come back with a fastball if you choose to do so.
3-2 on Freeze. Former Cardinal, former Angel. Line to right field, but foul, slicing away. That'll keep the count at 3-2. Freeze battling here against Boyd. Boyd now, as far as the pitch count is concerned, up to 78 with Mujica warming up.
Well, if you're Brad, you pretty much know that you can use everybody in that bullpen tonight to try to get a win. Justin Verlander's pitching tomorrow, and he usually goes into the 7th inning every outing. Verlander is the only member of our traveling party that's going to get himself a real nice.
He may already be home.
Yeah, he's going to get some good sleep tonight.
He left before the game tonight to get back to Detroit to prepare for his start tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, that's customary when the team has a late arrival. They will usually send that starting pitcher ahead if he wants to go.
Ground ball up the middle into center field, a base hit. 1 run will score. McCutchen will stop at third. It's an RBI single against the drawn-in infield for David Freeze. 5-0 Pirates. It's going to be it. Matt Boyd will be done for the night. As Brad comes down, Mujica, the veteran, will come in here in the 5th inning. Still nobody out. And that'll be it for Matthew. So the Tigers go to the bullpen. Wall side windows, pitching change. We'll be back. Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bergstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, for tires and auto service. Everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, go for thrilling drives and deals at the Chevy Summer Drive. Chevrolet, find new roads. So look at the Fort Duquesne Bridge here in Pittsburgh, where Matt Boyd has been knocked out of the ball game. It's a 5-0 contest here with the Pirates on top, still batting here, nobody out. Edward Mujica coming out of the Tigers bullpen now to face Jose Osuna. Infield still in, and it's ball one.
Now Mujica was pitching some pretty good baseball in Toledo before his call up. In 46 games in Toledo this year, he had 12 saves. These are his numbers since his call up.
Josh Bell pinch hitting for Osuna. Nub toward third base. Oh, and it's bobbled there by Castellanos. Everybody is safe. Man, oh man, oh man. Bases are loaded.
No excuses there for Castellanos. That will be his 16th error of the season. But that ball was hit right off the end of the bat. It was spinning. And once it got to Nicholas's glove, and it just basically spun out of the glove as he tried to transfer that. Not sure if he looked up at the runner or not, but and that's a play that Nicholas knows he should make.
I think he hit it on the head, Rod. I think he looked up. Slowly hit ball. Now they're loaded, nobody out, and that's going to bring up Sean Rodriguez.
And on that particular play with that guy running, if you're Castellanos, you should have known that you had plenty of time because Bell, not a burner, he's a big first baseman, so there was really no need for Nicholas to look up prematurely.
Ball one. Rodriguez a single and a strikeout. Back into the Tiger dugout.
And Rodriguez is going to have to get some more lumber.
One ball, one strike. One in the third, three in the fourth, and now another run here in the fifth inning, and still threatening with the bases loaded, nobody out, in the infield in. And Rodriguez fouls it back. 1-2 on the Pirates right fielder. Pirates have played their best baseball here at home since the break. They're 10-4 at PNC Park since the All-Star break.
The National League Central is a very competitive division right now.
Swing and a miss, and Rodriguez is out. Much needed strikeout there, one gone.
And Rodriguez now 0 for 6 in his career against Edward Mujica.
So Mujica has come in. He's gotten a little dribbler and strikeouts. There's Jordy Mercer. Mujica gave up the 4 hits and the 2 runs in 1 inning of work on the 5th in Baltimore. His last outing. High fly ball, right center field. This will be deep enough to get a run in. But Ducey will make the catch. And McCutchen tags and scores. Set fly for Mercer. Another run scores, 6-0 Pirates. Two gone.
And he talked about how competitive the Central is. Chicago 1.5 games over Milwaukee, but St. Louis and Pittsburgh not that far off. Only 4.5 games separate the top 4 squads.
That's why the Pirates feel they have a shot.
Well, the Central, they're going to have to win the division because the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Colorado Rockies right now are running away with a wild card.
I mean, when you look at the West and the years that both the Rockies and Diamondbacks are having, and they are buried in the division. thanks to the Dodgers, who have won 79 games. Here's Cervelli. Ball one. There's the wild card.
Arizona and Colorado with a comfortable lead, and 5.5 over Milwaukee. You and I were looking at some of the players in the National League this year and what some of their numbers look like. They've got some guys over there that are absolutely banging. I mean, when you look at Goldsmith's year so far, you look at Arenado's year so far in Colorado, along with, what's the center fielder's name?
Blackman, Charlie Blackman.
Charlie Blackman. He scored 100 runs already.
And we're not even to mid-August.
Harper having a great year. Bellinger in Los Angeles. That MVP race is going to be some kind of race in the National League.
1 ball, 1 strike. And Francisco Cervelli. Pirates have added 2 more runs here in the 5th. Swing and a miss.
I didn't even mention Bryce Harper's name.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him. He's pretty good. Cervelli, a walk and a strikeout. Mojica coming out for Boyd here in the 5th, has faced 3 batters. And he got him on the outside corner. Strike 3. Mojica strikes out Cervelli, and that is that for the Pirates in the 5th. Only a couple of hits in this game against another pretty good young-looking pitcher for the Pirates, and that would be Chad Kuhl.
He's got a big arm, and 97, 98 with a really nice breaking ball. He really hasn't used many changeups so far this evening.
Here's our first look at Jeimer Candelario. He's going to pinch hit. Pitcher spot here, so Candelario in his first Tigers at bat comes in a pinch hitting role. Ball 1.
A nice little scouting report on him I was given by Brian Harper, the Tigers AAA hitting coach who had him last year in AAA. Says he's got more power from the left side. He can handle the bat a little bit better from the right side, and potentially he's got gap-to-gap power.
He had a brief cameo with the Chicago Cubs and really didn't do all that well in his first opportunity with the Cubs, right? But we were discussing this with all the young stars they have on that team. I would assume he felt a little bit of pressure to kind of keep up.
Yeah, when you get called up, you're trying to do what Rizzo and Bryant and Javier Baez and all the other guys have been able to do.
How about that? A base hit. Pulls that one into right field. A single for Candelario.
But Brian Harper told me the kid is a fast learner. He works extremely hard, and he's really started to mature.
Base on the year takes his lead, and here's a line shot past the third.
Some video on Candelario in the minor leagues for the Toledo Mud Hens. Of course, he is one of the main pieces, and they said was the most big league ready of the pieces the Tigers received in the Justin Wilson deal, which included Avila. Tigers have their third hit. Top of the order now coming up. Kinsler. Ian looks at ball one.
Last 4 games for the Tigers, including this one, they have been outscored 26-5 in the last 4 games. They've got to figure out a way to get some offense going.
Ian in the ball game, a ground out and a strikeout, or a pop-up rather, ground out pop-up.
I guess when you really think about it, 5 runs in the last 4 games, that's just over 1 run a game.
Of course, they were outscored badly in the final game in that series in Baltimore. Ground ball left side. It'll find a hole. Base hit. Finally, the Tigers was something brewing now. 2 on, nobody out. And the Tigers have doubled their hit totals. Cool now has thrown 53 pitches at 95 or above.
And he's only thrown 80 pitches.
A 23 pitch second, otherwise in pretty good shape in the rest of the innings. Here's a Ducey. Strikeout, and he lined out to left in his last at bat. Ball one. Tigers got a leadoff hit in the 5th, but a double play ball got the right-hander Cool out of any trouble. Little looper down the left field line. That's going to drop. Base hit. That'll get a run in. Candelario coming around to score. Kinsler goes to third, and it's a double and an RBI for Jim Ducey. And the Tigers get their first run. 6-1 ball game. So Candelario gets it started with a pinch hit single, and he comes around to score.
A nice piece of hitting here by Ducey, and that's a changeup. On one of the few changeups he has thrown today at 90 miles an hour. It was tailing down and away from Ducey, and he went simply with the pitch and hit it right down the left field line. Ducey has gotten a lot of hits the opposite way since he was come up from the minor leagues.
Yeah, he's gone foul line to foul line quite a bit.
And Ray Searage, the outstanding pitching coach of the Pittsburgh Pirates, out there with some words for Cool and Cervelli and a smile. Pitchers always want to get you to smile when they're out there. The pitching coaches, at least they do, lighten the mood.
So here is Upton, who to this point has not been able to figure out Cool. He has fanned him twice.
Still throwing a lot of cheddar up there is Cool. He was touching 99 in the first, and he is touching 97 in this inning.
Ground or line drive, I should say, to the right side. Soft liner off the bat of Upton. That's going to be the first out. He hit it straight at Bell. And that's a big out there for the right-hander Cool. A soft line drive from J.L. It's going to bring up Cabrera now.
Everybody in the Pirates dugout looking to the pitching coach. What did you tell him?
Well, Tigers got to get these 2 runs in here. They're down 6-1. They need to continue to chip away. Kinsler at third, at Ducey at second. And Miguel takes ball 1.
It always seems that starting pitcher has a little extra whenever Miguel and Justin Upton step in the batter's box. The one fastball he threw at 99, he threw that pitch to Upton back in the first. Cervelli behind the plate. Moves late, but he moves very quietly. A lot of times the catching coaches on any team, they want you to set up quick so the pitcher can get the sign and he can see the glove. But Cervelli is one of those guys that just kind of waits to the last moment. He looks at the hitter, see if they've made any adjustments. Then he casually just kind of moves after the pitcher starts his windup. Quietly, though.
Ball 2 to Miggy. 2-1. Cool now has had 86 in the pitch count. And another visit out to the mound. You were talking about this earlier. Cervelli loves those mound visits. This one a quick one, though.
He's quite the leader. All fastballs to Miguel in the first 3 pitches of this at bat.
Fly out, strikeout for Cabrera. Way outside, all the way to the backstop, and this will get a run in. A wild pitch scores another 6-2.
That is the second wild pitch of the evening for Chad Kuhl.
Both runners move up. And the count goes to 3-1.
Cervelli had no chance at catching this 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Good read by Ian Kinsler, too.
Ball pops straight up instead of coming straight back. Everything away to Cabrera. 3-1 pitch. Line to right field, not deep. Ball is caught by Rodriguez. He'll bring it home. Throw to the plate, not in time. Sac fly. As Ducey comes in with the 3rd run, the Tigers back to within 3. And give Miggy an RBI.
How about this slide for Ducey? Ooh, more like a roadblock.
So it's a 3-run game now. RBI number 53 for Cabrera. That'll bring up Castellanos. Strikeout, fly out for Nick. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Well, the Tigers finally get some offense in this series. There's a slow roller back up the middle. That'll end the inning. Tigers will get 3 back, though. Once again, back into the ball game as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Thursday at Comerica Park. Save on great seats with the weekday value packet. 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and drinks. Offers $19 per person. Go to Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. And watch the Pirates and Tigers back in Detroit. Warwick Soppold, he is on now for the Tigers in our Wallside Windows pitching change.
Warwick has done nice work this year. He's pitching in his 27th game. He has logged 41 innings, a 329 earned run average. He's punched out 22 and walked 14. And Warwick throws a lot of strikes, doesn't strike a lot of batters out, so the defenders are always ready to make a play behind him.
Chamber Candelario stays in the game. He'll play third, so Castellanos is out of the double switch. That means that Soppold's spot is in the 5-hole now for the Tigers. Here we go in the bottom of the 6th, 3-run game. And Soppold delivers foul back.
And Clint Hurdle didn't waste any time going to the pinch hitters. It's Polanco now. Bell pinch hit last half inning.
Polanco for the pitcher spot, and then you've got Marte and Harrison coming up next, top of the order. Polanco looks at a ball high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouled away. Polanco is coming off the DL. 2 for his last 18 in 6 games off the disabled list. Soppold's 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Warwick takes over for Mujica, who took over for Boyd in the 5th. They knocked Matthew out of the game in the 5th inning. Cool watching on now.
And Cool all smiles tonight after pitching 6 innings.
Ooh, that was close. 3-2 on Polanco. That'll get back out of play. Polanco is 4 for 6 this year as a pinch hitter, including a pinch hit home run.
That home run just a couple of days ago. We were talking about it last night. It went into the Allegheny River.
Fouled away. It's funny how many pinch hits the National League teams have, and you compare them to the American League teams.
Right.
I mean, it's just, man, we got 150 pinch hit at bats now. Do the Pirates. Again, the 3-2. And he got him on strikes. 1 away. We bring in Johnny Kane.
Yeah, Mario, I had a chance to talk with Tigers first base coach Kamara Barti earlier today, and we reflected on his time as a Detroit Tiger back in the late 90s. And, you know, 1996 is when the Tigers gave him an opportunity to realize his big league dream. And he says, Detroit always felt like home to me. And I had asked him about, I'd heard that he was one of Mr. Ilitch's favorite players, and he said, you know what, I had heard that. He said, it was a story I was told is Terry Francona, who was manager of the Phillies at the time, early in my career, wanted to make a trade for me and make me the starting center fielder. Mr. I stepped in, nixed that trade because, quote unquote, he was one of my favorite players. So that's the way the story goes for Mr. Barti, but certainly he's paid his dues and worked his way up, and now it's his first season as a first base coach here in Pittsburgh.
Pretty cool story. And Kamara Barti, by all accounts, a really good guy.
Mr. I was one of the best, if not the best, owner in sports. Very loyal to his players. Very loyal to his players.
Marte fouls one back out of play.
You know, one of the things that I remember about Mr. I, that one year that Maglio Ordonez really struggled, And they could have not picked up his option.
Right.
They picked up Maglio's option simply because of the fact that it was the right thing to do. He didn't want to try to sign other free agents and bring them there and then offer them those kind of deals. And if they struggled, not pay those guys. So he did that for a purpose, to make sure that the free agents would still want to come to Detroit. Same thing with Pudge Rodriguez. Didn't have to pick up his option either. Picked them both up.
Well, the Tigers had some great teams there in the mid-2000s. Jim Leland came aboard in 06.
Polanco, Guillen, Simo, Marcus, Tim.
Foul away, 3-2.
You know, getting back to Barty, guys, you know, he said Mr. I was always so good to me and my family. And earlier today, before the game started, we were able to present him with the commemorative patch that the Tigers wear on their uniform.
I got nothing but love for the Ilitch family, Mr. I in particular, and the entire organization.
Well, we did want to give this to you.
Oh, that's
the commemorative patch that the boys wear this season.
You giving this to me on camera? That's awesome. I appreciate it. I'm at a loss for words. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this. So thank you. I appreciate it. And Detroit Tigers, you're always home. Sorry about what we're going to do in the next couple of days, but Detroit's always home to me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, that speaks to you know, Barty's character as a man, and you know, he played back at the old Tiger Stadium. He's never been to Comerica Park, so tomorrow will be his first opportunity to get back there and see some of the old guys he used to know.
All right, Johnny, thanks. Cool story. And Kamara Barty, as he said, will always be a Tiger, which is always a cool feeling. 2 gone now, and Josh Harrison will stand in for the Pirates. Sapol doing a good job, retiring 2 batters here in the 6th. Same song?
No.
No, different song, huh?
Different song.
Oh, man. Even after he got a single and scored a run in the 5th.
He's all over the map.
He's at what, 3 different walk-ups now?
4.
4? Well, he's up there with 2 outs, nobody on. And he'll drive this one into center field, sinking, but caught on the run there by Mikey Mata. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Sapol.
Gets his first at-bat as a Tiger, and he singles. That was to lead off the inning. Ian Kinsler also followed with a solid base hit. Got that off Chad Kuhl. They really had not been able to do anything against Kuhl up until this point. There's a double slice down the line by Ducey. That brought Candy home, and Miguel Cabrera also chipped in while he was up there. Wild pitch. That sent Ian home, and then Miggy was able to drive in a Ducey with a sac fly to Rodriguez, the right fielder. And the score now is the Pittsburgh Pirates 6 and the Tigers 3.
So the Tigers had not scored in the previous 14 innings in this series. They put up a 3 spot to get back in this game. And Mikey Matuk will lead it off here in the 7th, down by 3. Matuk, McCann, Romine. We've got a new pitcher now for the Pirates. Wall side change. It's A.J. Schugel.
And Schugel has a fastball that tops out at about 94. He'll throw a curveball every now and then, and he throws lots of changeups.
Ground ball to third, short hop there by Freeze. 1 pitch, 1 out.
A.J. Schugel and my youngest son Andrew were roommates and teammates.
Really?
At Central Community College in Arizona.
No
1
kidding.
year. Yeah. His dad is a scout as well. And Schugel was a position player at that time and turned into a pitcher, and then once he got into the Pirate system, traded to the Pirates, he finds himself in the big leagues.
Here is McCann. 6-3. Pirates have the lead. Another ground ball. Third base side. Freeze handles another opportunity, and a couple of very quick outs.
2 pitches?
2 pitches, 2 outs for Schugel.
Is that easy, AJ?
Romine slowly saunters out to the mound and will be looking to take the first pitch. I should say to the plate for Romine. Schugel, born in Florida, went to high school though in Colorado and lives in Colorado. Ball 1.
Got some nice bright shoes, doesn't he? Bright yellow pumps.
Strike called to the outside corner. That ball looked wide. And that's exactly what Romine is saying. Their bullpen did a nice job last night. There's a strike. Now the 1-2. Way outside. 2-2. Romine ground out, strikeout. In the air to center field. McCutcheon is on the move. He'll get there, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Schugel. Coming up, a McLaren Health Plan 7th inning stretch. Let's bring it back to the fourth inning where it was Andrew McCutchen who drove a ball deep to right center field off Boyd for a solo home run. And McCutchen, who's had a tremendous second half, just continues to swing the bat. Single, homer, 2 runs scored for McCutchen. He'll get things started here in the 7th inning. Warwick Suppold goes back to the hill in a 3-run game, and it's rolled to third foul. McCutchen, Freeze, and then Bell due up here in the Pirates' 7th. Tigers got all 3 of their runs in the 6th inning. They had not scored the entire series until an inning ago. Foul back. 0-2 now on McCutchen. Talked about his struggles early in the year. He hit .206 in the month of May when he was at his lowest, and then just really turned things around in June. Won the Player of the Month in the National League. Suppold missing high.
You know, Clint Hurdle did something similar to him in May that Brad Ausmus did to Justin Upton last year. And Brad sat Justin down for 3 days, and then when Justin came back, Justin homered in the first game back. As a matter of fact, he homered twice. And Justin hasn't looked back for a calendar year now, and it looks like McCutchen on that same program. I mean, you try everything with guys like a McCutchen and a Justin Upton that have had a lot of success, and when they struggle, finally you just have to give them a couple of days off so they can just sit back and watch and regroup.
Well, maybe there is something to say about the mental aspect of the game and the grind that baseball is, and the 162-game schedule, that 2 days off mentally means more than it does physically.
No question. You have now front offices and analytics departments that basically send down messages to the manager and tell them after so many days of a player playing, they would like to see that player have a day off. And pretty much the manager has to give that player a day off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, there's so many different numbers. They're looking at so many different things these days. The way the players eat, how much sleep they get, how much they work out. I mean, it's a well-oiled machine these days.
Hudson and Cantos warming up for the Pirates. And there's a strike called. Got him looking.
Whew. Thank you.
Second strikeout for Suppold, and McCutchen letting them know about it. It was low. As Kutch begrudgingly walks back to the bench. Yikes. I could see McCutchen's point on that one.
Oh, no doubt.
David Freese. Ball 1. Pretty good night for Freese. 2 singles, RBI, run scored. Now over 330 following the All-Star break. Oh, right back off the glove. It'll roll to the shortstop. Is there time? There is. Freese is thrown out. Romine throws him out. 1-6-3.
And nice job here by Ward knocking it down, but couldn't catch it. Romine and was making his way up the middle, had to redirect and come in and do or die play with the glove. Nice exchange and a nice stretch by Miguel.
Romine was the starting right fielder in last night's game, the starting shortstop here tonight. Here's Bell, his second hit. The pinch hit in the second at bat, I should say. Pinch hit in the 5th. And he'll take strike 1. Suppold's done a nice job since coming on. He took over for Mujica in the 5th. Or the 6th, I should say. He got him 1, 2, 3. And now 2 batters here in the 7th. Fouled away. Tigers fell behind 6-0 before putting up a 3 spot. Pirates box tonight. A lot of damage at the top and the middle of the lineup.
And very difficult for any offense. And the Tigers are finding it to be true here against Pittsburgh. You fall behind good teams early and you allow them to get into their bullpens and with their 7, 8, 9 guys, it's tough to come back. If you look at numbers of most teams, their winning records are very high 7th inning or later with a lead. And very difficult to come back. But it can be done.
Strike called. Fairchild punches him out of there, and a ball that appeared to be up. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Fairchild got a plane to catch.
Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com to see why Chevy drives to Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Beautiful night here in Pittsburgh tonight as the Tigers wrap up this 9-game swing. The final 2 here in Pittsburgh. Got another Wallside Windows pitching change. And it's going to be George Cantos coming in.
Yeah, they just got Cantos from the San Francisco Giants. We saw him last night. He has pitched in 51 games this year. He's got decent numbers. 57 strikeouts, only 17 walks this year for George, and the combined 2 stops.
He threw a 1-2-3 eighth in last night's game. And Cantos will face Candelario, then the top of the order Kinsler and Adduci. Jeimer Candelario came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th, saved in the game to play third base and singled in his first Tigers at bat. Now trying to get it going again here in the 8th. And Candelario swings and misses 0-1. Tigers got him along with Isaac Paredes, who had a huge game today down in the minor leagues. A couple of home runs in A ball. Little chopper to the right side. The second baseman Harrison, and Candelario is out. 1 gone here in the 8th. MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live Tigers baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Tigers home screen icons, app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast, and more. MLB.com at bat. Get it today.
The Michigan Whitecaps are playing some really good baseball this year. Second half especially.
Yeah, they are.
On that Paredes kid, Al Avila told us that after they made that deal with the Cubs, he got several calls from general managers telling them that they did a very nice job in acquiring that Paredes kid.
That ball hammered to the air toward left center field. Hit well, and it's going to be caught right at the warning track by Marte.
And Al said it made him feel good because a lot of people weren't on that this kid, especially kids playing in the lower levels, but the Tigers were on him.
Well, anytime you have an 18-year-old playing in the Midwest League, that's pretty good.
Yep, it's not a high school league for sure. It's a tough league. I played in that league at 18, and I struggled. The first half of the season, I really struggled because, I mean, I was a California kid, and when the opening day, man, it was like 18, 19 degrees. I had never played in weather like that before.
Here's the Deucey. Where'd you play?
And I didn't want to play either.
Was that King? No one King. Huh?
It was. It was in Appleton.
Oh, Appleton,
Appleton Foxes.
Oh, Goodland Field in Appleton.
In 1978.
Oh,
we won the championship that year. We won 101 games.
Wow.
101 and 41. We had an awesome team.
I broadcasted in that league, and one night the attendance winner was 5. Man, we did games in snow there, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys played in them.
Those are fun days, though, when you're playing at the lower levels, when you live with families and whatnot, and a lot of fun.
In the air to center field for McCutcheon, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Contos. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. The Unlimited Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. How about Manny Machado, Rod? He is really on fire now.
He drove in 5 runs on Sunday against the Tigers and 4 more last night with a grand slam. So 9 in 2 days for Manny.
Rizzo turning 28 today. The only Cubs player with more homers before his 28th birthday, Santo and Banks.
Mr.
Wow.
Cub.
Mr. Cub indeed. And Mike Trout, home run on his 26th birthday against Baltimore last night. 4 career homers on his birthday.
This guy, man, is clearly the best player in the sport. I mean, and it may not even be a close second right now. I hate to say it, but
cannot disagree.
He is so special. How about that? Full moon here tonight.
Nice. It's a sweet shot.
It is a sweet shot.
Daniel Stump is on now for the Tigers.
And a couple of holds for Stump. Earned run average is very respectable at 225. Brad trusts Stump too. When he first came up, he was a guy that was pitching in the front of the bullpen, but now, and Brad has trusted him late in games to get tough lefties out, with Wilson being gone.
Sean Rodriguez leads it off, and then Jordy Mercer and Francisco Cervelli. 6-3, Pirates have the lead. Swing and a miss, and the count 1-2. Supple 2 scoreless innings, 6 up and 6 down for Warwick tonight, who continues to do really good work quietly out of that Tigers pen. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Rodriguez falls down, striking out. One away here in the 8th. Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. The scene will shift to Comerica Park tonight between these two teams, or tomorrow I should say. And Verlander and Ivan Nova.
Nova having a good year. He's 10-8 with a 3.66. He hasn't walked many this year, only 19. And Verlander checks in with a 7-7 record. Could be better. Verlander's pitched some outstanding games with no run support.
Jordy Mercer.
Mercer's had a nice day. He has doubled and scored, and also a sac fly.
Tigers bullpen has retired 10 straight. They've done a really good job. Problem is the Pirates got 6 big ones early in this game. They're trying to hold on. Tigers answered with 3 in the 6th. Double sac fly for Mercer.
Good fastball there thrown by Stumpf at 94 miles an hour.
Now the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. That is 3 straight strikeouts now for the Tigers bullpen. It'll bring up Cervelli.
That's good firm fastball. And that somehow Mercer could not pull the bat off his shoulders. He knew it was strike 3.
That's 11 straight now for the Tigers pen. And there's a strike call.
Stumpf ain't throwing nothing but strikes.
Rivero and Hudson tuning up in the bullpen for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Rivero's got a big arm, boy. I mean, big arm.
Rivero was not available last night to close out their win. He had thrown 41 pitches the night before. And apparently good to go tonight. Right back up the middle, and it's going to find a hole, a base hit. 2-out single for Cervelli. Tigers pitching tonight with a total of 12 strikeouts. So Jaso is going to come on and pinch hit now for Cantos. And he was one of their heroes last night. The home run against him in the 7th inning, extending a 1-0 lead to 3-0.
I read some comments on Jordan Zimmerman, and Jordan felt like he had thrown Jaso one too many curveballs, the last of which was a 2-run home run hit into the right field seats over the McClenny wall.
They'll chase him back. Three pinch hit homers for Jaso, and a 308 batting average. You see the numbers there. He has been incredible in this role. And he takes a ball inside. Jaso had the big hit last night, but in his post-game interview was adamant about telling people that Trevor Williams, their starting pitcher last night, was the star of the game, and he just deflected all kinds of attention onto last night's starting pitcher.
And Trevor was outstanding in one of his better games of his major league career.
Ball high. Well, Jaso now has gone up 3-0.
Jaso has always had really good plate discipline. And very seldom strikes out, very seldom leaves the strike zone to swing at pitchers' pitches. He's always been that guy to give you a quality at bat.
Slow roller toward the second baseman. Kinsler charging. Jaso is out. And the inning is over. So we'll go to the ninth. 6-3 ball game. Now Felipe Rivero has checked in the hard throwing lefty.
This guy will get up to 100 miles an hour. You can see the whip. It is at 0.78. The ERA 1.27. 53 games for Rivero. Power arm. I mean power arm. 67 punch outs in 53 games.
He will have Upton, Cabrera, and a pinch hitter. The pitcher spot to third. Tigers have V-Mart on the bench. So here's J-Up, who is 0 for 3 in this game. 6-3 ball game. The Pirates in the lead. And the first one home is at 99 miles an hour.
Their starter, Chad Kuhl, was throwing 99, and the reliever comes in first pitch 99. He's not done yet. He'll get to triple digits in just a second.
Bouncing ball flagged down. Well, there's your triple digits. That one came in and 1 below. But Upton is out, 1 gone. That'll bring up Miggy.
Say what you will about Pittsburgh. The last number of years that we've been coming here and playing the 2 games here and going back to Comerica Park to play the 2, their pitching has been really good against Tiger bats. I mean, Tigers bats really have not gotten loose the last number of years against Pittsburgh Pirates pitching.
Agreed. And in this game, they scored 3 in the 6th. The only inning they've scored in this entire series is 2 games set. Miguel looks at a strike at 101 miles an hour.
This cat almost throws as hard as Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, he's right there with him. With Chapman at 103.
Yeah, he can get to 103.
1-1.
Lowest earned run in the majors among relievers. Rivero. Felipe Rivero.
Bouncing ball to short. Mercer has it there. And Cabrera's out 2 away.
Tigers started off this road trip winning 4 of their first 5 games. And before dropping what looks like the last 4 of the trip, go home with a 4-5 record.
Here is John Hicks, the Tigers' last chance, trying to keep it going. Hicks for the pitcher's spot. Here comes the crowd now. And he'll look at 100 miles an hour up top. I cannot imagine anything tougher than coming off the bench and facing 100 miles an hour.
That's right.
Ball 2. He's got to throw a strike though. 2-0. Tigers need 2 base runners to bring the timer into the plate, with Martinez still sitting on the bench. Two and 1.
Took a little off. 99.
Now 2 and 2. Tigers down to their final strike. Didn't go. 3 and 2.
A 90-mile-per-hour changeup there thrown by Rivera.
Hicks in battle mode right now, trying to keep this thing going with Montuk on deck.
Montuk's had a nice day, 2 for 3. Montuk with 2 of the 5 Tigers hits.
Swing and a foul tip. Just barely staying alive.
Tigers have had to swing at a lot of fastballs 95 miles an hour and above here today.
Swing and a miss. He dusted him up top. And the Pirates will take the 2-game series here in Pittsburgh. 6-3 the final score. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. John Keating standing by with Tigers Live postgame.